Alright guys, I have finally gotten a brand new Rytan kit. I can't tell you how many times over the last several years someone has asked me to review one of these. They're just impossible to find, but I finally found them. I'll show you where in just a minute. This is called the 16-piece traditional pick set. And this is the box it comes in. I'll show you the kit in a minute. But what I find interesting, again, it's all about marketing. There are 16 instruments in here. And these aren't picks. These are pick blades, almost like they're referring to a piece of like surgical equipment. Pretty cool. Inside of that giant box, you will find this very nicely executed Cordura nylon. Got the Rytan logo on there, but I've got to tell you, the Rytan website, which is rytan.com, for some reason it's a dead link. I just don't understand why manufacturers of such a, what I think is a pretty high quality kit, are so difficult to get in touch with. On the back of this case, there's a piece of Velcro, so you can attach it and detach it from your belt without having to take the belt off. Very well thought out. The zipper on this is nylon, very smooth, so you'll never have to lubricate it, and it'll also never rust or corrode. Inside of there are all of our instruments. Let me go ahead and pull all these out, line them up, get them sorted, and we'll go through them one at a time, and I'll tell you what I think about these things after having used them for about the past week. Alright guys, there are all 16 pieces laid out and sorted. Unlike most companies, Rytan did not count the case as one of the pieces. So you're going to see 16 pieces laying here in front of you. Let's go ahead and start with the easy stuff. I'm going to start with the tension wrenches. These are normal stainless steel tension wrenches. You have a medium one and a wide one. The medium one measures 0.093 inches or 2.35 millimeters, and both of these have the twisted handles. The thick one measures 0.125 inches or 3.2 millimeter. Again, both of these are stainless steel, as is everything in this kit except these three pieces. These three tensioners for shutter locks. These are made from spring steel. You don't often get shutter lock tensioners, but you get both sizes in this case. These are both of the most common sizes. So you got a thin one and a thick one. And then just in case you run across that weird shutter lock, you have this little guy with a little O-ring so you can keep it compressed in the case to fit that weird sized keyway to hold that shutter out of your way while you pick it. These next two are picks I normally gloss over because I'm never impressed with these things, because all of the ones I've run into before now have all been what I believe are copies of the original. I believe Rytan is the originator of these. So I took a close look at these. Both of these are made from stainless steel. They're not that cheap stuff we normally see. Both of these are well shaped and they're well thought out. For example, on one end we have the half diamond, and that's not rounded off and sloppily punched out like most of them we see. This is well shaped. I like the shape of the shaft, nice and thin, and it would take very little to finish this. This, as I mentioned earlier, is some kind of really hard stainless steel. I don't know the type because they don't put it in the description. They just say stainless steel. But I will tell you that normally I can polish one of these with 600 grit sandpaper. It takes me about 2 or maybe 2.5 minutes. I polished this one. It took me a full 5 minutes, so it's pretty hard stuff. It took me 5 minutes to get the edges rounded off. On the other end of this, we have a short hook. Again, very nicely shaped. That's what a short hook should look like. And then in the middle, and on all of these picks, you're going to find the Rytan Incorporated from Torrance, California, and that's engraved. That's not stamped. That's engraved. So they took a lot of pride in engraving their company logo on all of their picks, but their company link it's a dead link. I just don't get it, why they're so difficult to get a hold of. Anyway, very well done. You have a snowman or double ball on the other one, and this is the Rake. So usually they mix and match them, but on one of them you have your for SPPing, and the other one you got for raking. So pretty handy the way they've got these laid out. In this case, I think I would carry these two tools in my kit. I wouldn't discard them like I normally do. All right, let's get to the real picks. These all come in these plastic handles. They're injection molded. I had a magnet, and the metal of the tip goes back to about right where my fingernail is, right there. These are solidly molded. They're not going to flop around. They give, at least in the 6 days I've been using them, really good feedback. I did not finish any of them. I finished the short hook, but I wanted to give you an idea of what these look like. You can see there is a kind of an odd looking edge. It is not rounded, but it's kind of L-shaped on both sides. So a little stair-stepping. I don't know if that's because they use chemical etching or what, but these aren't bad as they are, but I think I would still invest a little time in rounding off everything. Again, injection molded, all stainless steel, pretty hard stuff. The handles are more than just plastic. Of course, we got their logo right there. But when you hold them, you'll notice we have this cross-hatching in the front, again, to get a really good grip on it. It is curved, so it's ergonomic to fit into your hand. And not only is it curved like that, but along the top, it also varies in thickness as well. So the curve of your thumb fits it perfectly. It's a very comfortable pick to hold, I have to say. I really like using these. That one was unfinished. Here's one I did finish. Short hook. And again, this is only about 5 minutes with 600 grit, and it really does come out almost looking like a surgical instrument. Everything rounds off beautifully. You can see up here near the end, I didn't bother to finish that near my thumbnail, but the original edge and then the rest of it rounds off very, very nicely. These clean up very nicely. We have, you've already seen a half diamond on the other double-ended pick, but you get that guy. You get a double ball. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of these. You get a snake rake. Oop, very nicely shaped, thin shaft. And I forgot to mention, these are all 23 thousandths in thickness, so pretty good thickness. And then we have two proprietary picks. You don't normally see these. You have a triple ball, not a single or double. Now we've gone up to threes. Pretty soon we're going to have 7 or 8 balls, but this is proprietary to Rytan. I've never seen one made by anybody else. It's interesting though, when you run this in a lock, the lock doesn't normally see both sides unless you're going in a wafer. So you'll notice that the frequency of that triple ball is roughly the same as the frequency of the worm hook. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then this one is another rake. It's much gentler. This is almost a combination of a worm rake and a city rake. Kind of got some weirdness on both sides. So if you rake it this way and you can't get it, maybe you can flip it over and try the other side. So again, they call this the Ripple. This is proprietary also to Rytan. And then these two guys on the end. Again, all of these are very well done. Stainless steel again. Both of these again come with the engraving of the company logo, and these are nothing but two different styles of key extractors. I don't know if the triple is 3 times as effective at extracting a key as the single, but this is what they give you. It is a little bit thinner in profile, so I guess it could come in useful. Anyway, this is everything you get in the Rytan kit. The only thing I would say that I would add to this to make it a little bit better, I would add in, everybody wants a Bogota, and I'm no different. So I would probably throw in, and I will with this giveaway, I'll throw in a Bogota. This one is from Sparrows, so I'll throw that in the kit to round it out. And the last thing, I'll throw in the worm. I told you we talk about it again. So I'm going to throw in a worm rake also from Sparrows to round out. Now I think it's a super kit. Anyway, without these, it sells for $68.36. I think it's a pretty good deal. For this quality of pick and this well thought out assortment to include a couple of extractors, I think it's probably well worth the money. Anyway, fellas, if you'd like to win this, go ahead and go to the website right there. Hit the big purple button in the middle of the page and register next weekend. We'll randomly draw a name, and hopefully you'll be the lucky winner of this Rytan 16-piece traditional pick set with 16 instruments. Anyway, fellas, thanks for your time. Stay safe. Stay legal.